I'm sleepy.
Yeah. Very good. Oh boy.
I guess I'll do it though.
Very good.
Dum 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 dum
Space between.
Yeah. Welcome to the Space Between podcast, where we talk about the space between life and art, which isn't usually the case. Passion and business, which is almost never the case.
Very small. The space.
And what's the last one? Passion and business.
What's happening now and what's happening next.
I'm Pat Shand.
And I'm Amy Shand.
Now listen. For those who are watching the live stream, you didn't see it last time. You don't see it this time. We have a new microphone. Mm-hmm. And this new microphone, let me just check the levels here. Whoa, it's looking pretty, like it's hitting pretty hard. Let's
like a concert in here. Oh my God.
Put the gain a little bit down right there. Boom. That's not too bad. All right, so hey, listen, if the audio is actual fucking shit, then hey, you know what?
If it's obnoxious, tell us.
Yeah, just write it in the comments. We're just learning here. We have that, for those who are watching the wide angle on the eventual YouTube video, you can see we got that fucking Canon. You know, it's the it's the Yeti Blue.
Big, yeah.
It's the Yeti Blue.
And it's a different shape too. It's like it's a nicer one because we're trying bit by bit. We want to get different pieces for the podcast and for recordings and stuff. So this was one of our first steps, was to get better sound.
Yes.
And we really liked it when we interviewed Onodera last time.
Yeah.
So and if you haven't seen that one, check it out because it is up on YouTube and everything. And he is very talented. He's local. He's super smart, and he was fun to talk to. But we used the new mic.
Yes.
And we're gonna continue to do so.
Yeah, and I do want to talk about this too. We had our Onodera last week, and I enjoyed it a lot. It was a cool conversation. One thing that I would critique about the episode is that, we go to a different location for our guest episodes now. We shoot the episodes where it's just me and Amy. Mm-hmm. We shoot those at our home.
We're here.
Yeah.
We're home.
But for the guest episodes, my mother has a larger back area. I'm not talking about anything physical about her.
That sounded nasty.
Yeah. But we go to her house. And it's a closer location to most people. It's a bit more central than where we live, you know. And we have a nice table where we could record.
Big table.
But the problem is that while it's better for comfortability and audio, it's not as good for the visual.
Yeah, like depending on the time of day, we sit right, like you'll see when we did the Onodera one, we're sitting right in front of the window and the sun's like going from the middle of the day to going down, so it's mad bright behind us, so we look kind of dark.
Yeah, we're very backlit. And that's something that I want to work on fixing. I think that I'm going to start booking more guest episodes, and when we do that, we're going to go for more nighttime recordings. Mm-hmm. And thankfully, it's winter now, so nighttime is going to be about 4:30 and up.
Yeah, so we're learning.
Yeah, but yeah. So
eventually, in our house, I would love to have like a podcast room, like
definitely.
A studio. But
yeah, I mean, I recently saw Bobby Lee and Kalila, who do Tiger Belly, which is a hilarious podcast. Yeah. They have this new studio because they moved, and just the background is just beautiful. Andrew Schultz, who does Brilliant Idiots and Flagrant 2, he set up his studio. He has a great-looking studio now. And all these podcasts that we love are going more for the visual components because, so many people watch these podcasts on YouTube. We have way more viewers generally on YouTube than we do on SoundCloud.
And it's fun, too, because if you're talking about something, like what they'll do and what we like to do, too, well, I say we, but you're the editor, is like if we're talking about something, we'll try to put it in the visual so that you know like what we're talking about. So when you're listening, you follow along still, but if you're watching, you can see what we're talking about.
I have a ton of those today, too.
Cool. I'm excited.
I do.
My son is here.
Yeah, Neil is here. Come on, buddy. Come on.
He's going to unplug something.
I hope not.
I know that's for sure.
Not. Everything's good?
It got a little darker. I don't know.
Everything's still good? Let's see if Neil fucked everything up. Nope.
We're good.
Everything's still good. All right. Thank you, Neil. Yeah, I think that his the shadow of his body kind of just clouded the,
overshadows the entire room.
Yeah. So we have some comments coming in on the live because after this I'm gonna jump into a topic.
Okay.
And in fact, I'm gonna tell you offhand what the topic is before we get back to it. I want to say that a guy named David Leavitt is an asshole.
Wait, is this true what I'm reading on the screen? The fact? At real Donald Trump?
Yeah, but that's not what this is about at all.
Okay.
He's bragging about that, but he's on no one's side.
Okay.
He is a man who is on an island of hatred. Okay? So watch this. I'm going to read the comments really quick, but we'll get back to David Leavitt is an asshole. So here we go. We have these comments. David Brooke, who is not David Leavitt, he's a different man.
He's a nice one.
Writes, love the beard, Pat. And David is a guy who I've probably had more text interviews with him than anyone else as far as journalists in the comics industry. And when I moved my face to show more of the beard, I believe is when David wrote Dios Mio, you know? And from where I grew up in Freeport, that means, oh my God. Okay. And David continued, love their haircut, Amy, which is kind of a burn to me. Amy didn't have a haircut, okay?
It's because it's
Neither
growing
of us
out.
had a haircut.
It's going out and it looks different. Neither of us have gotten a haircut in a while. We've been talking about it super frequently, wanting to get a haircut and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But we just haven't made it out to get a haircut. So.
Yeah. Not yet. But you know what?
Shaggy.
I'll say this. This is going to be the last regular episode where I have this beard.
Really?
Yeah, I have to get it cut this week.
Oh, so you're putting it on camera to keep yourself in check. Got it.
Yeah, we even got a comment on YouTube from someone who watches every episode saying that every episode the beard gets bigger.
Nice.
And you know what? It's useful for the winter, but when I'm eating food, I've noticed, or when I'm kissing a cat or even you, I come into contact with myself.
I want to tell the story of yesterday. The beautiful aroma that you brought home.
Oh yeah, do that. Yeah.
This is a story of how Pat's beard. It's so large that sometimes it encompasses memories and takes it home with us.
Yeah.
So it's its own entity really, because yesterday we were walking around town and we're walking around like the Port Jeff area to play Pokemon, and on what was it? Sundays, they do a bonfire outside where you can make marshmallows. So we literally stood at the fire. We didn't even eat marshmallows. We stood at the fire for like maybe 5 to 6 minutes. We walked past it again once. We get home and Pat goes, Amy. And I'm like, yeah? He goes, I want you to... He pauses what I'm watching on the TV. Yeah. He goes, I want you to smell my beard. And I'm like, okay. He's like, don't worry, it's not gross. So I'm like, yeah. And I smell it. And it has this smoky aroma of a campfire. Brought me right back to like camping as a child, because the smoke from the fire had like gotten into your beard and just nestled in there.
Yep. Yeah, it's like sometimes when sometimes you go out with a group of friends, right? And sometimes when you're walking, you have one of those friends with you who's like snapping a little camera, catching memories. My beard was that yesterday.
That's your friend.
Yeah, my beard reached out to that fire and it was like, yo, keep the smell for later. Mm-hmm. I'll just keep it right here for you. And it actually came to me. I was on the toilet and I wasn't urinating, right? So the smell that I found dominant, I was like, shit smells good. So,
and it can't be the other thing that was
at first I thought it was. I was like, damn, I got that fucking... You
thought your shit didn't stink.
Yeah, I got that fucking litty bitty down there, It smells good, It smells like I'm fucking...
Weirdo.
Like shitting with some campers,
Oh my God.
But I realized that my beard had trapped the smoke, right?
Yeah.
So I brought it out to you.
That was very funny.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that yesterday.
Yeah, of course. And, hey, listen, anytime, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Neil's
he can't decide who to sit
No,
on.
he can. I'm blocking him from being woke.
Oh, I see.
He's trying to suck his leg.
So he's going to his second choice?
Yeah.
Very good.
It makes it horrible. Don't let him do it, though, okay? It'll be so loud in the microphone.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Neil likes to nurse on his leg as if his leg has a little pee on it, He likes to suck that little shit nipple, that shipple, okay?
It makes like a loud smacking noise.
Yeah.
So
I'm feeling kind of tired right now. All right, so David continues with the comments. I use the Yeti Blue on my AIPT Comics podcast.
Nice.
Now, listen, AIPT stands for Adventures in Poor Taste. Now, David, I do want to ask you why, if you're still in the comments, why did the site change from Adventures in Poor Taste to AIPT. I feel like Adventures in Poor Taste has like more of a ring to it, and it's something that people would more like be like, oh, what is this? Zach O'Connor chimes in. Good afternoon.
Hello.
David Brooks says like 5 text interviews. David, I'm gonna say at least 7. Definitely not 5. At least 7 for sure. All right, so let's get into this.
It's time for business.
Yeah. So a few days ago on Twitter, I don't really get into Twitter beef anymore. I don't. I kind of think of Twitter as like the devil's platform. Twitter and Facebook are these two things where everyone on it criticizes it, which is kind of hypocritical, of course. But on Facebook, I feel that it's people trying to exist socially under corrupt leadership. The biggest problems in Facebook, I feel, are the restrictions and the lack thereof from Facebook itself. Okay. Right? At Twitter, I feel that Facebook is like hell, and there's like a definite Satan. Right? Twitter is hell, and we're all the fucking devils.
Everyone is Satan.
Yeah. Just a fucking bunch of devils.
Yeah, it's true. I've noticed people on Twitter are more likely to be like harsher.
Yeah.
More like they go on there specifically to like, hey, call someone out and say something mean, I feel, is what I've seen.
Undoubtedly, yeah.
I don't even have Twitter on my phone or anything anymore because yeah.
Yeah, it's like this. Twitter is like where everyone goes to. It's almost as if you're in a race to say who has the least, like who's the angriest, who has the biggest right to be mad at someone. And this gentleman felt like he was in a situation where he had a right to dehumanize someone for something that happened to him. I think that epitomizes what's wrong with Twitter. But Instagram, on the other hand, is like too aspirational. Like Instagram is where like everyone posts like just like a fake version of their life, whereas Twitter, I feel like everyone goes to complain, so people get like the worst version of everyone's lives.
Instagram is like a portfolio of how you want your life to be.
Exactly.
Because like if you go to someone's profile and you look and you're like, oh wow, they look like they're having a good time. That's the goal. Yeah,
and like the bad angles of both is that Twitter, if you're on Twitter and you think that Twitter represents the actual real world, and it doesn't. It doesn't at all. That will make you think the world is a lot worse than it is. Instagram will make you think that your world, your life is a lot less cool than everyone else's. When it really isn't the case, So listen, there's a guy named David Leavitt, and he's a real asshole, okay? I'm going to read his biography.
I have no idea who this is.
You might soon or you might not, He's not a famous guy.
He's got a big nose.
His background picture, and that was what Amy was referencing, was that he's proud that at real Donald Trump blocked you. And here's the thing. Sure, okay.
That's his banner?
Yeah. So, hey, pride yourself. Say he hates the guy. Cool. Pride yourself on being blocked by someone you hate. Fine. That's not relevant at all. I just wanted to say what you were talking about before.
No, I was confused before because I thought that was his. I didn't read the full Twitter handle, and I thought that was his Twitter handle.
Right.
So I thought that his banner was showing that he blocks a lot of people.
No. Okay.
But his banner shows that Donald Trump blocked him.
Yes.
Got you.
So his name is David Leavitt, and I'm going to just describe how he describes himself, And this we don't do like call outs on this podcast, but this is something where
I love tea.
Everyone who saw this, I didn't see one comment in support of him. So this is just an instance where someone is such an asshole. Like David, I feel like he fucking lives in Satan's anal cavity, dude. He all right. His bio. Award-winning multimedia journalist. I would love to see what awards you won, you bitch. His bylines are from CBS, AXS, what's that? Yahoo, Examiner, etc. I love #games, #tech, #travel. Casual #MTG player.
What's MTG?
Hey, bitch, what you talking about? Okay.
What's MTG?
And then he writes, work with me, and puts his email there. Okay. Now, his email for anyone who wants to contact him is his name at gmail.com. He wrote that he lives in Boston, Providence, and Manhattan, and his Instagram is David Leavitt, or maybe it's Leavitt. I don't know. But he wrote, no, I will say this. I wrote on a couple of his Instagram posts. I was compelled to do it. I don't even usually do this shit.
I know, so I'm curious to see.
Yeah, I wrote on 2 of his posts, "You a hoe."
It's still like, it's not even like actual anger. It's just trolling him. Yeah. It's funny.
And listen, David Leavitt, you a hoe. You know, you're a fucking bitch, dude. Here we go. Here we go. And we're about to find out why.
Okay.
So here it begins. David Leavitt, he posts 3 pictures. The tweet that he posts these pictures with says, "This Target," and he adds Target. "This Target manager, Tory, is not honoring the price of their items per Massachusetts law." And he posts a picture of an Oral-B toothbrush, which, hey, okay, he's saying that it should be 1 cent because the display has 1 penny next to it, even though it's clearly marked display, right? Then he posts a picture.
That's my face to him.
He posts a picture of Tory, the Target manager, who, of course,
inappropriate,
told him that it was ridiculous that he would think that that's 1 cent. And then he writes, he screenshots the law. It says, "The Massachusetts item pricing law requires food and grocery stores. I got real fucking Boston for a second, you know? Stores to individually price mark most items with the actual selling price. The law also requires food and grocery merchants to sell any item at their lowest price indicated on any item, sign, or advertisement."
Is he joking?
First of all, hey, you fucking hoe. Hey, David, are you buying the display? Are you going to brush your teeth? Because you have a box in your hand, dude. So, are you trying to buy the box, or are you trying to buy the used toothbrush that's been collecting dust out there for 1 cent? Because, hey, I'm sure if you want to buy that display for 1 cent,
go for it.
Maybe you have a case here. The stupidest fucking case in the world. But as is, to anyone looking at this, you're clearly wrong, right?
Plus, the box that he wants to buy, okay, only certain items at the store have those little things on them.
Right.
Those are the items that are obviously not 1 cent.
And what Amy's talking about here is that...
it's like those seals.
Yeah, there is one of those anti-theft
like when you
devices.
get a bathing suit or something.
Yeah, it's an anti-theft device where they have this little plastic button and strings go from the other side.
Only they can open it.
And I'll tell you one thing that Target did do wrong. Target put a very graphic picture of a spider.
Yeah, why is that? Why is there like a tarantula on that?
And I don't like that shit.
Sketchy.
I don't like that shit at all. Okay.
I kind of like that.
I don't like that. So that's what Target did wrong. But David Leavitt isn't talking about this. David, you should fucking leave it, you bitch.
Yeah, David, just leave it, man.
So listen, I'm getting angry.
I can't believe he's not kidding. Is the thing.
He continues and here's the thing. I feel in my heart of hearts, he's doing this to troll. Yeah. He's getting this so people say his name. Right. And I've said David Leavitt a bunch of times this podcast, but I have a reason.
Okay.
I don't care if I'm feeding into what he wants because he tried to make a fool of someone else and she ended up getting the upper hand. Okay?
Tory?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, Tory.
So here we go. David continues. This is his Twitter thread. And I'll say this. In my notes for the podcast, I wrote one thing about him. I wrote Twitter guy. Okay? Because David Leavitt, or Leavitt, right? He clearly has no existence or personality outside of social media. So David, you hoe. You're a Twitter guy, okay? Here's what he tweets. "I just had to call the police."
He had to do it.
Because Target refused to sell me the toothbrush. Now, I'll pause here, okay? Sometimes, when Amy and I... Alright, our nighttime ritual, myself and Amy, right? Amy tells me that she's ready for bed. And that she wants to make it over me, right? Mm-hmm. I'll go into bed, I'll lay down, she'll do some of her final errands, and then she'll make the bed over me and come in to the bed. And then we're in bed together as a married couple, right? Mm-hmm. what I'll do, say she tells me that she wants to make it over, I'll come in the bed, and then she'll keep me waiting for a long time. She'll be brushing her teeth for a long time, doing bathroom activities.
Feeding a hamster.
Yeah. I'll go like this. Yeah, hello, police. She's taking fucking forever, right? And she'll hear me fake call the police. Now, hey, David, you hoe. What you're doing, what you actually called the police for, is more ridiculous than if I actually called the police on her for that. If I called the police... Can you
imagine that phone call?
I was like, excuse me, police, my wife is taking so long to make the bed over me. And they're like, what? Is there a domestic problem? I was like, yeah, I'm waiting, That's what's happening here.
I want to hear that phone call.
Hey, David, your problem is more ridiculous than mine. And here we go. He writes...
Just for the record.
He writes... No. That's too fancy of a word. He tweets, I did not call 911. I called the business number for the police and told them it was not an emergency and they could take their time and explain the situation. So listen. He thinks it's okay because he called the low-key police office number and had them come down to deal with this. Hey, David, Leavitt, you hoe.
They have a lot of other stuff to do.
You calling the police at all. I don't care if you personally... Hey, okay? Hello, police? Hey, I'm trying to talk and shit on this to David Leavitt.
It's a more valid argument.
But she keeps coughing, And, oh, yeah. It's her again. Yeah. See, I wouldn't do that, but me doing that's more valid than you hoe. He continues to say, oh, yeah. So, no. He called the police. And listen, I don't care if he had one of the cops' personal phone numbers. Mm-hmm. I don't care if one of the cops was his fucking brother. Okay? Doing that, you're wasting police time.
Doesn't, Target have security? Can't you do that step first? If you really want to
he's really calling the cops on Target, though.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Okay.
So, then he continued. The police verified Target displayed the price of the toothbrush for 1 cent. The store manager, Tori, refused to sell me the toothbrush for displayed price. The police said I need to sue them and that they're making me a verified report to take to court. And he tagged BBB connection and asked Target. Now listen, David, I'm going to tell you what really happened. And I feel like you know this. But unless you're, in case you're listening and you want to know what actually happened there, you annoyed everyone so much until they told you a little bit of advice to get you off their fucking back, because they're not going to arrest Tori.
Yeah.
They're not going to press charges against Target, and your case will not be successful.
It's gonna.
The people who told you to sue the police do not believe that you have a case. Mm-hmm. They want you gone, and in fact, they might not want you around at all. Okay? Because listen, who would? Mm-hmm. And he, of course, continues to tweet. He writes,
That's the thing about Twitter, too, is it's a minimal amount of words that you can use, so they just go on and on over and over again.
Yeah, and I usually don't even get this way, but I'm getting heated because he is trying to put the actions of a corporation on the actions of a person, when in this case no one did anything wrong. Mm-hmm. But he's trying to make it seem as if he is the poor everyday working man, right? This fucking blue check verified piece of shit bitch ass Twitter dude.
I can't believe,
right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Is trying to make this actual working woman into his target. No fucking pun intended, dude. All right? Come at me.
Listen, you can just Google oral. There's no such thing as a toothbrush that costs 1 cent.
Yeah. He was trying to game the system,
I'm moving ahead here because this next tweet is fucking unbelievable.
How about you read these next two ones?
Okay, he says, corporations like at Target, again, fucking poor Target keeps getting these notifications, are not above the law. The police officer told me they'd testify that they saw the price and that the manager wouldn't sell me the item for the price listed.
Hey, I'm going to chime in with this, okay? Have you ever heard of the subreddit? And that's just a little pocket of Reddit, right? Mm-hmm. It's called That Happened. And there they share stories of things that didn't fucking happen. Mm-hmm. So, hey, dude, that happened. Okay?
Sure.
Yeah.
And then...
Final tweet here.
This is really annoying because he, trying to victimize himself when he's literally an award-winning whatever. And he says... I've not been able to afford to go to a dentist in over 3 years.
Oh,
bitch,
God.
Yes, you can go to the dentist.
Yep.
You can afford to go to the dentist. I can afford to go to any kind of doctor I want to, and I'm not rich.
Yeah.
I have less money than he does. And then he says, so yes, I wanted a good toothbrush and was thrilled to see such... That makes you look so fucking low. To see such an amazing prize.
Oh, wow.
Not even price.
Yeah.
Prize,
yeah.
Award-winning writer, yeah. On an @Oral-B. Now Oral-B is involved.
He's letting him know, dude.
But Target refused to honor it, and now I have to take them to court.
Yeah. So listen, I'll say two things though.
This is the dumbest story I've heard in a year, easily.
Yeah, I'll say two things here. No one in the world, no one, including you, David Leavitt, you hoe, believes that you for real thought that toothbrush was 1 cent.
Yeah.
No one believes that.
And imagine...
No one believes that you believe that. Okay?
If you... Okay, you're at Target. I don't even know how to, put this in words. You could be any other place, that doesn't sell as expensive things, you know? You could be at a Walmart. You could be at a TJ Maxx. And you're fucking at a Target, and to picture you, walking down the aisles thinking, oh, ho-hum, I can't afford shit, and look to your, right or whatever, and see 1 cent and be like, oh, thank God, I can brush my teeth. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
At CVS, toothbrushes are, $1.25.
Yes. He's full of
You don't need a
shit.
fucking electric Oral-B toothbrush
and
to brush your teeth appropriately.
Last but not least...
His teeth are probably so shitty.
He probably smells so
He probably has
bad.
the worst halitosis.
His beard, for sure, doesn't smell like smoke and fire.
That's so true.
His beard smells like fucking Asiago cheese.
Old bits
probably.
of food that he can't brush out because he can't afford a toothbrush, you know?
Yeah. You know, his beard smells like, there's this process, where you can remove the yolk from an egg and put it in salt and essentially salt cook that egg, and then you could turn it into a grating tool, right? You can grate the yolk of an egg over.
That's disgusting.
And it has a very tart, cheesy taste. That's what his
What was Theo Vaughn talking about? Haggis?
Oh yeah. He probably has that haggis mouth, dude. But listen, here in this tweet, I feel like he's aware of all this bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm more talking about him than to him. But hey, if you do listen, David Leavitt, you hoe. Going to the dentist costs a fraction of the price of suing someone.
Dead ass.
So, I began to tweet about... first, a great tweet to him. Someone named Memento Mori, which means remember that we all die, right? Tweets. In fact, he writes...
Yeah, he seems pretty well written.
I'm being dead serious now. And this is to David. Take a step back and really look at yourself. It's hard for a man to see himself, but you've got the gift of thousands of people holding a mirror to your face right now. Seize the moment. You seriously need to reevaluate your life.
That guy's a shrink.
Beautiful. Now, there's more to the story. It gets deeper.
Oh my God.
Because he trended before in the past. And this is where
about, some floss.
This is where I feel you might recognize this man from, and this is what makes me so confident that he is a troll, right?
Oh, he definitely is. No one can be that fucking stupid.
No.
I guess they can, but yeah. Jesus Christ.
And listen, this we have some comments here. David Brook comments, it is the economy of complaint these days.
Oh, yeah.
I think most folks don't actually care, but they know if they bitch and whine, they can get internet points. Very true. Mm-hmm. So, this is going to kind of segue into a conversation about comedy. Because David Leavitt isn't a comedian. He doesn't say he's a comedian.
He's definitely not fucking funny.
He's not funny in any way. But I do think that people should be able to joke about whatever they want to joke about. But if someone sees malice in what you write, that's beyond a joke. I think that they should be able to
express that too.
And there was an occasion in David's life before where society held up a mirror to what he had said. David on let's see, this is May 22nd, 2017, tweeted, multiple confirmed fatalities at Manchester Arena. The last time I listened to Ariana Grande, I almost died too.
Yeah. How is he still around?
And here's the thing. I don't know if David is an active writer. I don't know what jobs he gets. I only ever hear of him from Twitter. You know why? He's a
That's
Twitter
how he's
guy.
still around.
He's a fucking Twitter guy, okay? He's not a real writer.
Yeah.
He's not a real person.
If he was signed by like anyone or had any jobs, it'd be over, I would think. That's such an offensive comment. That's not even a joke.
Nope, not a joke. And the next one's worse.
Rude.
Anthony Bourdain, in response to that tweet, tweeted at him, "You, sir, are a steaming, gaping asshole."
Truly a.
Yes, I missed that, yeah. Truly a steaming, gaping asshole. And you know what?
That's how I feel reading
I agree.
that. Wow.
And get ready to get mad.
First I thought, like, this is stupid.
Yep.
And now he's just mean.
After Anthony Bourdain died, soon after, David retweeted this comment from Anthony Bourdain to him and wrote, "Selfishly taking your own life and hurting your friends and family makes you the steaming, gaping asshole, Anthony Bourdain."
I hate when people say suicide is selfish.
Yep. So listen.
I'm like, ooh.
Here's the thing.
Where's he at? Just kidding.
when Anthony Bourdain, when his life was lost, that affected people. People cared.
Of course. I
guarantee that the same will not be true of this Twitter guy. Okay?
That's true.
Now,
he's no one.
No, he's less than no one. There was a GoFundMe set up for Tori.
Fuck yeah.
You know, she made, as of this, over $30,000.
Good for her.
And the person who set it up made contact with her. You know, she put up a little picture to prove that that's her. And so she ended up sort of rising above what this Twitter guy tried to do to her.
That's so stupid.
Yeah, this waste of oxygen, you know?
Wow. What a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man,
to me,
makes me angry.
I know. It took such a dark turn right there. Now I'm like, straight up, fuck him.
Yeah.
But you know what? God, what an asshole, I guess. Jesus.
Yeah, it just, you know, some people...
He'll never get a gig or whatever.
Yeah, some people have no empathy, and they can't help but let it show, you know?
Totally.
But yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely a piece of shit. But thank you for sharing. I had no idea who he was.
Yeah, I don't even usually comment on shit like that, you know? But on a funnier note, as far as Twitter today, I noticed that people are announcing who they're endorsing for president.
Oh.
And I think it is hilarious that someone with fewer than 10,000 followers has the fucking balls to announce who they endorse. Like, hey, listen, I wouldn't follow your endorsement of a fucking taco place. And you're saying, oh, I'm announcing that I'm endorsing someone for president? What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, hey, Neil, who you voting for? You know? Who I'm voting for? Guess what, bitch? I don't know. I don't know who I'm gonna pick yet. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know who I'm gonna pick yet. And guess what? My fucking idiot friends, their endorsements have no bearing on what I pick, on who I pick.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that.
Well.
Like, dude, I have about just under 3,000, I think, on Twitter, and under 2 or so on Instagram, and about the same on YouTube for us. To think that I would put out a fucking announcement
and have like an impact,
as if I'm the king. Okay, what? I'm gonna put out a fucking scroll and say, hey, I'm endorsing fucking whoever it would. I was just trying to pick a candidate that would be funny. But they would all be funny. If I was endorsing Bernie, Warren Yang, fucking Buttigieg.
It's just funny that you're doing it at all.
Yeah, like you're endorsing someone. Hey, how about vote for them? Or even just, it's cool to even say, oh yeah, I'm voting for so-and-so. Cool. Who cares? That's fine. Do you. However, just to actually say, I endorse Bernie Sanders. I endorse so-and-so. Hey, man, you and me, you know what? We're not fucking Brad Pitt. And you know what?
You are citizens, and your votes count and stuff. Yeah. So that's the most important thing to do, is like your part.
Yeah.
But that's our part. Because it's not to, do that. You're right.
Because to me, an endorsement is it's as if you're saying, I am an influencer.
Exactly.
Right? As opposed to, I'm voting for, that's a personal choice. Mm-hmm. An endorsement is like, I must tell my followers who I've picked and make it clear, right? It's
so
assuming
that all of automatically it's going to make an impact on the people who follow you.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious. Like,
that is pretty funny.
Do I care? Like, am I just like on the edge of my seat? Like, oh, who is this comic writer who published a comic that I kind of liked 3 years ago? Who were they going to vote for,
Yeah, you should be really reading and, like, using your own judgment as a citizen to vote for who you want.
Yeah.
Instead of, like, going to Twitter and seeing, like, oh, who does this guy endorse? And who's,
I think very few people do that, Like, very few people do it. People who follow endorsements are people who've already made a choice. Mm-hmm. Like, say, recently, the New York Times double endorsed Elizabeth Warren and Amy, whoever's name that can't be pronounced. Who's, hey, why are you still in the race, Amy? You're not going to win. No one is really even talking about you except today because of that endorsement. And I'm not talking about you, of course.
I know.
You could probably win.
No.
I'll just show a bit of that fire, on stage, and you might take it.
They'd be like, oh, she's crazy. I don't want her in charge.
No, I mean, they put crazy people in charge,
That's true. But they'll be like, she's a crazy woman. I don't want her in charge.
Maybe, yeah.
She's hormonal.
Maybe. But fucking, yeah, dude, it's just funny to me. It's funny to me that people think that they're so important. Like, you're important as an individual and as a soul, but it's fucking hilarious when you endorse someone, It's so funny. It's like, hey, man, did you put out a fucking press release when you graduated college? Like, what are you talking about? I endorse,
Man.
What else today? My leg hurts right now. My leg
From the way you're sitting?
Yeah, I need to get real sexy with it right now.
Oh, la la.
How about that?
Beautiful.
How's that feel to be next to me right now?
I love it.
So how you feeling?
Good. We had a good day today because we had a lunch date.
Yeah.
A little bit of a surprise lunch date.
Oh, yeah. I want to officially endorse Jerry and the Mermaid. It's a beautiful restaurant.
That makes more sense, though. But, yeah, because I was supposed to hang out with one of my best friends, but she's actually sick today. So I feel like something's going around on the island because a lot of people, like my work a couple weeks ago, people were calling out, like in pairs, basically. And so today she's sick, so I decided to reschedule with her. And then since you were here, it was really nice. I was like, I don't want to sit at home all day, but it's so cold that I don't really want to walk around and do anything outside. So we went to lunch, and we haven't been there in a while. And it was so delicious. They have really good, I love their seafood. It's right by the water. And then Pat said their burgers are like some of the best burgers he's ever had.
Yeah,
so their land and sea is bomb.
Oh, wow. Yeah, they have both of them covered. Yeah. I wonder how their air is,
What would that be?
Chickens and stuff,
Chickens.
Yeah.
You would need to try the chicken burger next time. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good day.
They put this,
Go ahead.
I can't let you leave the burger.
Yeah.
I gotta say why. They put this marinade on the burger, and usually with me, if you give me beef, I want it to be strictly beef, okay? I want you to season it up a little bit, and I want that beef, I want to taste that cow's life.
Umami.
Yeah. But, so I don't normally go for a marinade, but for some reason, I don't know if it was because, the place is called Jerry and the Mermaid, and the item is called Jerry's marinated cheeseburger platter. And I don't know, because maybe looking at the menu, I realized, you know what? The other items, Jerry hasn't put his name on those. Jerry puts his name on this burger.
He endorses that burger.
Jerry fucking endorses that burger. And you know what? If one person is worthy of endorsing something, it's a man endorsing his own meat.
Dude,
okay?
yeah.
So listen.
He's a boss. On the website, I was so impressed. You remember when I showed you?
Yeah.
It's like the big red panic button.
Yeah.
You scrolling down the website, it's like menu, blah, blah, blah. This is our catering stuff, this and that. And it goes, contact Jerry directly. Like if you have a problem, if you have a concern, anything, he's there, man. That's his home.
I bet you.
He's such a cool guy.
I bet you if you press the button, there's not even a fucking ring.
Yeah.
It just goes yellow,
Yeah, this is Jerry.
Yeah. But yeah, that marinade, it tastes sort of like a little bit barbecue, but without tang. It's more of just it reminds me of a steakhouse steak. It's just it's because of shit. It's so good.
It's probably so because a lot of the time marinade it covers the taste of the meat, like you're saying,
yes.
But this one probably just like really goes with it and like adds to it.
Yeah. This marinade is like it's like the Dr. Dre part in Nothing But a G Thing.
Oh shit!
Like, the song would have been great.
Reference.
It starts with Snoop. 1, 2, 3 into the foe. Snoop Doggy Dogg, Dr. Dre is at your door, ready to make an entrance. So back it up, and then Dre comes in because we're about to fuck shit up.
And he's that marinade.
Dre's the marinade. The song would have been fine with Snoop, but then Dre comes in. It's like, oh,
nice.
It's like fucking Paulie Walnuts.
Oh, I'm so excited because we have one season left of Lost. We're rewatching the whole series with his mom. And then after Lost, we're going to rewatch The Sopranos from the first to the last episode. And holy shit, I am so excited. That's such a good show.
Yeah, and it's good timing too because there's a Sopranos prequel movie coming out pretty soon.
Cool.
Yeah.
Like in theaters?
Yeah.
We're going to have to take your mom.
Gonna have to, yeah.
Yes.
I'll tell you about Lost though. For the past 2 nights, I've caught some Lost behind the scenes videos, and I'll tell you this: I've been shedding some tears while you've been sleeping.
Really? And he's been like, usually if he sees something that he loves, he'll save it for me, and he'll be like, "Hey, watch this," you know. And I do the same thing with YouTube and everything. But these ones, because it was so long ago that I watched Lost, and even like the last few episodes, the beginning of the 6th season stuff, I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? I don't remember any of this. Pat's been not showing me those because he doesn't want to show me any spoilers.
Yeah.
So I've been missing out on those, But as soon as I'm finished with the series, I want to look into that too because there's probably so many like analysis papers and like trying to figure it out, like the meta of it and everything, and people writing articles and stuff. I want to read that shit.
Yeah, because
like really smart people watch the show and then they think about it and they write about it. I want to know what they're thinking too.
Yeah, because there's this there's a thought that Lost ends poorly, and
yeah, I've heard that. Like people were upset with the ending.
I've had this conversation with so many people, and it's generally people who weren't really into that show. They heard about a specific ending and they don't get it. It's always that they don't understand it. It's every single time it's that they think that something happened that didn't happen. And
is it the same thing that they think happened?
Yes. Every single time
it's that everyone was dead the whole time, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, not only is it obviously not true, but the last episode specifically explains out loud, has a person say in one of the final lines, everything happened to you. It's like you're going to lengths to not understand something.
Yeah, because that's the easier explanation.
Yeah.
Instead of like going through the timeline and being like, okay, and then this happened, and then they died, and then this happened, and because it's like, it is. I don't want to. If you haven't seen the show, it's so long, and it's really good. Yeah. But there is a bit of before death, after death, sort of like jumping around and around. So that is something that goes on. There's people that have died, you see them again, and now there's flash forwards, flashbacks, blah, blah, blah. So it's hard to follow. Yeah. So I would see how someone in the end would be like, a blanket answer, a blanket statement, oh, that was all after death, because like otherwise, how do you explain everything else, But even what you've explained to me so far, I think I'm following. It is tough though. Sometimes I feel dumb watching it because I'm like, wait, what? What?
Well, no, that's only because we're not watching it back to back, really, And like,
that's true.
And the only thing that I've explained is what you've already seen before, and since you're rewatching it and you don't remember that specific part, what I'm finding in my rewatch now is I'm seeing certain scenes from the lens of knowing what happens, and it makes it even richer. So I just wanted to share that experience with you.
Yeah, no, I'm glad for that. But as far as, like I was saying, specific things that happen, I'm still in for some surprises this season, I'm sure. But yeah, that's a great show. And it's old now. Like, it's been out. It's been done for a while.
It's been years, yeah. I mean, yeah, there's already talks of, like, people use the word rebooting, but the talks that I've heard of bringing back Lost would be doing different characters on the island. And, I mean, I'd be down for that, but the creators, Damon Lindelof and Carlton Cuse, have said that they wouldn't do it.
Okay.
And that someone else would have to come do it.
Because they're wrapped up, basically.
Yeah, but man, Damon Lindelof has been on quite the spree of shows. He did Lost, then Leftovers.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Excellent. One of my best ever. And then recently he did Watchmen. And Watchmen he did as a one-and-done season.
And you want to see that, right?
Of
course,
watch
that.
Yeah, it's on HBO now.
Cool.
But yeah, you know...
Again, someone recommended to me Game of Thrones.
Yeah, we should eventually watch Game of Thrones. And I feel like... the way I feel about Game of Thrones is kind of how I felt about Breaking Bad. You know, Breaking Bad was a cultural phenomenon, and I wasn't watching it live, so my thought was, you know what? Everyone's talking about this. I don't want to engage week to week. I want to watch it all when it's done, and then it was done, and we all watched it.
Yeah.
And now Game of Thrones is all done.
Yeah.
But it's just such an undertaking, you know?
Yeah. And it's been more than once that people are like, oh, you strike me as someone who would love that show. Yeah. So it makes me really intrigued to watch it. Yeah.
You probably would. I mean, HBO...
Because I love history.
Yeah.
And that's like in a setting in the past, right?
I mean,
I literally don't know much about it.
I think it's a different world than ours. Like, there are like dragons and zombies and stuff.
Okay, but it seems like medieval.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like...
I like that.
A lot of fantasy
like
seems medieval.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It seems more along the lines of, like, a Lord of the Rings type thing. You know?
Word. It's been so long since I've seen those two.
HBO in general just makes great shows. You know, like Sopranos, 6 Feet Under.
Yeah.
And I'm getting so tired right now.
I can see your eyes dropping.
Yeah, I'm getting...
I was the one who said I was sleepy, but I want to go to Michael's Arts and Crafts. And you want to know why?
Why?
Because I want to make my old aprons into voodoo dolls.
What? Voodoo dolls? Really? Is that true?
Dolls. Not really voodoo dolls, but yeah. Okay. I want to, like, use the fabric and sew it together and stuff and put hair and stuff like that.
I like it better as regular dolls, yeah.
Well, it's not... The voodoo dolls are not going to be you.
No, I know it's going to be me. But hold on. What's that quote? Let me see if I can get there. Read that out loud. This is from Princess Bride, which is a movie that you and I saw. Amy.
I love this movie.
We saw it together.
I took you to it.
You took me because it's one of my favorite movies of all time. You took me to see it in a theater called Film Under the Stars?
Close, very close. Yeah. Cinema. Under the stairs.
Under the stairs.
We should go there when we go to San Diego again if it's open for the season.
Oh yeah.
Haven't been there in literally like 6 years. But anyways,
do it.
Pat has brought me to this quote, which I have no idea why, and he wants me to read it out loud. So
try to say it in Inigo Montoya's accent.
I'm just gonna be my mom.
Yo, no matter what accent.
I spent 27 years listening to my mom. That any like foreign accent just goes into my mom.
Yeah, and
I'll just be my mom.
To me, this is Amy's effort to not be canceled. Because like sometimes like she'll be telling a story, say, about someone who's Asian, and she'll do a French Canadian accent.
That's not even true. That's so not even true. First of all, I never imitate Asian accents.
Yeah. Okay.
Do I?
I'd say that when you do it, you might like get a full 2 syllables out,
and then I turn into my mom.
The intended accent, and then all of a sudden you're a real French Canadian with it.
Anyways, I'm fluent in French Canadian accented English.
But first, I'll set you up first, okay?
Okay.
His voice is like, "Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya.
You killed my father.
Yeah. Hello,
Okay.
You know?
I've been in the revenge business for so long. Now that it's over, I don't know what to do with the rest of my life.
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
Now can you do it as a French Canadian?
I'll be my mom now.
Yeah.
I've been in the revenge business for so long. Now that it's over, I don't know what to do with the rest of my life.
Yo, there is no one more gangster than your mom, for real.
I fucking love my mom.
There's
We should at least, I'm gonna take some pictures and stuff. I at least want to shout her out when we're in San Diego talking to my brother and stuff. Maybe bring her on the camera for a little bit, have her like sing a little song or something. Because she's a superstar. She's a motherfucking superstar.
Oh yeah. Oh, I want you to tell a certain story about her.
Okay.
The most fucking G shit that she does is the barbecue line. Can you tell about that?
Oh, God.
Set the scene to
it's
you.
kind of like a throwback because, like, my parents met so young.
Yeah.
And they're from such different worlds. Like, my mom, she barely knew English when she met my dad. She grew up on a farm. She's, like, this hippy-dippy artist and this and that. And she just, you know, like myself, she doesn't often... Well, she does, but, like, there are times when she doesn't really think about, like, what she's saying.
Yeah.
So this would irritate my dad so much because my mom was a stay-at-home mom. She would cook dinner every night.
Yes.
So when my dad will be asking like, oh, like, what do you want to do for dinner on a particular night? My mom would respond with, oh, why don't we just barbecue? And it would irk my dad so bad to hear, why don't we just barbecue? Because the we just means that she does less and he has to do everything for dinner. Why don't we just barbecue?
Pretty gangster.
And that means you're cooking steaks tonight, baby.
Yeah, because your dad hears that shit as this.
Kiss my whole asshole. Kiss my whole asshole.
Or like,
Yeah.
Oh my
what's
god.
going on here?
Sometimes you gotta come back.
Oh, that's Eminem's new album.
Yeah, we gotta. I gotta work on the soundboard. You know.
That's okay. Eminem just came out with a new album. The first song has Young M.A. on it.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I want to listen to it more before I like actually talk about how I feel about it. But there are a couple songs that I like right away.
Yeah, it's pretty good so far. I think that what I'm noticing personally is that I think that Eminem creates better bodies of work when he has something a bit more urgent to say.
Like when he's pissed.
Yeah.
Like Kamikaze.
Yeah. And I think that his first 3 albums, he hadn't said much yet, you know? So he got it all out.
Yeah.
And I think he's a great artist. I think he's one of the best of all time. This one feels more like that he went into the booth and was like, oh, what kind of song do I make today? And made that song.
Right.
And that's fine.
He's just creating now because he got like a lot of his anger out at other people and stuff like on the last album. And like, it's not unheard of for him to just do like something like fun and good because like, remember like Ass Like That and stuff like, you know, he likes to have fun.
Yeah, those are my favorite kind of Eminem though, you know?
Yeah, but
it's
they
like
still exist and they're still good.
Yeah.
But of course, like the whole Kamikaze album is just like gold to me.
Yeah, like,
and that's when he was like pissed.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and like the Ass Like That Eminem is like probably in my like top 70 versions of Eminem, you know?
Yeah, it's just a fun.
Yeah.
It's just him having fun.
But yeah.
Which he's allowed to do.
He sure is. We have a comment from Warhol Francis Bartholomew. What's up, brother man?
What a sick name.
What's
Who
up,
is
man?
that?
What's up, Warhol? And
Bartholomew.
He's named after, I mean, a couple of guys right there, you know? And Warhol, Andy Warhol, is a guy who would take pictures of comic book art and redo it in a way that changed nothing about it and call it his own. Mm-hmm. You know?
That kind of reminds me of the digital Billie Eilish thing.
That's crazy, yeah. Amy brought me this.
It was not so recent, but yeah.
Oh, how long ago was that?
I think it was 2000. It was in August.
Okay.
I believe.
Yeah.
Of last year.
Yeah, it was this.
Sure.
I mean, you probably describe it better than I would. It was kind of hard to understand.
Super quickly, there was just a magazine. I think it was in another country. It was nylon from another like nylon. I want to say Germany, but I could be wrong. So anyway, they all of a sudden posted a preview to one of their magazine covers, which was a digital photo of Billie Eilish, but it wasn't like a picture that was taken and digitized. It wasn't a picture of her. It was an artist drew a digital picture of her face and made like an Andy Warhol-esque, colorful, like she almost looked like robotic.
Yeah.
She didn't have hair though, and she didn't have. It was like from, if you're looking like the chest up, like you couldn't see anything, but she clearly didn't have a shirt on, but she wasn't real, like it was a cartoon. But the problem was, Billie Eilish went online and saw this image of her and had never been contacted by the company. None of her team had been contacted to say that they were going to like basically, use her face on their magazine.
Yeah.
And then she was even more offended that she didn't know about it, and they made her bald, which she didn't like.
Yeah.
Because she's a 17-year-old girl. She, she wants to be in charge too of like her image out there.
Yeah, they gave her a Britney Spears moment, and she didn't even have a Britney Spears meltdown.
Exactly. And she was upset that they portrayed her as like not having a shirt because she's 17. Yeah. And she never gave any consent to it at all. Yeah. But the picture that I saw before they deleted it and stuff, it was like all like pinkish yellow, like kind of reminded me of Andy Warhol.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, that's cool.
But yeah.
I mean, it's not cool they did that, but
I mean, like, I'm sure the artist and the magazine didn't want to offend her, and they had said that and stuff. I'm sure the artist was like a huge fan of Billie Eilish and then was hurt when that happened. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, come on, like, communicate.
You probably should have thought about it,
yeah.
Yeah. Because like thousands of people are gonna see it.
Yeah.
What else? Oh yeah, that reminds me. I feel like what you just said and talked about is a sign of changing times. Because I just said Britney Spears, right? And I was just thinking, like, back when I was a kid, Britney Spears was, I think, like 4 or 5 years older than me. And she became famous when she was, like, 16 or so. And I remember when she was turning 18, there were all these, like, jokes in the media about how she's going to be legal now. And I don't see the same thing with, like, Billie Eilish.
And, like, even in rap songs and stuff, it's like, in about 3 years, holla at me, Miley Cyrus. Remember?
Yeah, who was that?
I forgot what song that was, but I still remember that lyric.
That was actually Eminem, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, times change, Yeah,
I mean, now if you do that shit, that's a rap.
You're done. That's grooming.
Yeah.
At this point, because they have a name for it.
Yeah.
And people get in trouble for that shit.
Yeah, I think that's a cool change in society, Like,
yeah, it's safer for women.
Yeah.
And if that's the end goal, is for everyone to be safe.
Yeah.
So.
And dude, I mean, I'm just talking out of my asshole. I have no idea. Maybe some guy like has a calendar in his house where he's just like checking
counting
the days
down days.
off, And like, I don't know. I mean, I hope that somewhere out in the ether, if he's putting that energy out there, a little rogue Chris Hansen like just picks it up a little bit, and maybe it gets stuck in his beard,
Definitely.
But yeah, no, that's
yeah, some strange shit going on. I was learning about it just recently because I'm like newly obsessed with like the gossip YouTube channels, the tea, spill this.
Yo, yesterday
blah, blah,
she
blah,
was listening to
going in.
Onision.
Yeah. I don't even want to because that's the thing. Just like that guy David.
Yeah.
He wants people to say his name and stuff.
We could do a whole podcast about him, too.
Fuck yeah.
We have a comment here from Derek Markovic, who writes, my real name is Dick Warlock. Oh, that means that you're the guy who produces the Law and Order shits,
Is that what it is?
No, it's Dick Wolf at the end.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Hi, Derek.
Yo, my dad is friends with this guy named Richie Cox, right?
I know,
and, I just, like, with that kind of shit, like, I wonder, like, all right, his parents went into this shit, right? They know he's going to be born with the last name Cox. So they double dick this dude?
They dicked him, yeah.
Dick Cox, dude?
Yeah, there was a guy that I checked in at the spa the other day where I was laughing with Kate because I was like, his parents didn't really think that through, did they? Yeah. His last name exactly rhymed with his first name.
Oh, what was it?
I don't want to say it because he's a real person.
Oh, yeah.
Here.
But it was like, no. Don't do it.
I thought it was a button.
Yeah, but we don't know the mic well enough.
It's okay. Is it a touch button or a button?
It's a button.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'll tell you after the podcast.
Yeah. But yeah, let's just say it was Dave Rave,
Exactly. Yeah. It was like, I'll make it up. It was like Peter Keeter or something like that.
Yeah, it was fucking Derek Merrick.
Derek Merrick.
But yeah, yo. And also, Amy had this friend. Like, I'm just trying to think of, like, other ways that you could, like, dick cock someone, right? Amy had a friend whose last name was Sackrider. And to me, the same thing, right? If your last name is Cox and you name your kid Richard, Dick Cox, it would be as if your friend's parents named him Ballsack. Be Ballsack Sackrider. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or just like Ball.
Yeah, Ballsack.
Ball Sackrider.
Wow, dude.
But that guy's actually super chill. I recently reconnected with him as friends on like Instagram because he and his wife are traveling around right now, and his wife is like a freelance model, and she's super hot. Congratulations,
Nice.
Sackrider. But yeah, they're a super cool couple.
Did she take his last name?
I'm not sure. It's only her first name on there, but it's so cute because like she's a model, so she has a lot of fans. Yeah. And I look at her story sometimes because she recently followed me back because that was one of my best friends in high school. We used to smoke weed and stuff like in his fucking trailer, and like we would make pop brownies in his kitchen, me and my friends. And cool dude. And then he met her after high school, so I don't know who she was. But anyway, I look on her story and everything, and they are so cute together. Like fans will be like, oh, like, what kind of date can I take you on? Like, da-da-da. And she posts a picture of him. If he can come, like, that's, like, the cutest thing.
Yeah, that's cute.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this. If she takes his last name, she's a fucking real one.
She's a boss, yeah.
Yeah. All right, but that's a wrap for today. That's an hour, and I'm feeling tired.
Thanks for being here, you guys. I'm about to drag Pat to the craft store.
Yeah, I want to go catch some Pokemon, too, at some point today.
Cool.
But listen, thanks for watching. And listen, what's his name? David Leavitt.
Leavitt.
You a hoe.
Dum, dum, space between, space between, space between, space between.